조선인민군 최고사령관 김정은 동지께서 판문점을 시찰하시었습니다.
Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army, respected Kim Jong Un, the Supreme Leader of the Workers' Party of Korea and the people, inspected Panmunjom at the hottest area, where a gun report may sound immediately due to the adventurous provocations of the enemy. He was accompanied by senior officials of the party and army. After receiving a report on the performance of the combat duty of the unit standing in guard of Panmunjom, Supreme Commander Kim Jong Un went out to the dangerous forefront. Watching the monument of the autograph of the great leader President Kim Il-sung standing at Panmunjom, he remembered with deep impression the immortal exploits of President Kim Il-sung, who worked heart and soul throughout his life for the reunification of the country. Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un had a picture taken with the accompanying officials before the monument, hardening a firm resolve to realize the lifelong desire of President Kim Il-sung and Father Kim Jong-il and hand a reunified country to the coming generations. Then he mounted the balcony of the Panmun house in a tense atmosphere because of the acute confrontation with the enemy, who is conducting the key resolve and full eagle joint military exercises against the dprk, and learned about the enemy situation in detail. Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un expressed great satisfaction that all the soldiers on the forefront were performing their combat duty with responsibility, sharply watching every move of the enemy with high-class awareness and resolve to defend the precious socialist fatherland at the cost of their lives, and spoke highly of their merits. He hugged the soldiers who had finished their combat duty and posed for a picture together with them. Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un went round different places of Panmunjom, including the Panmun House, the Tongil House, the conference room for armistice negotiations, and the hall for the signature of the armistice agreement. He said the conference room for armistice negotiations and the hall for the signature of the armistice agreement, associated with the history of victory in the Great Fatherland Liberation War over the imperialist allied forces, and the Panmun House and the Tongil House, representing our people's will for reunification, should be well preserved and managed to show to the coming generations who will live in a reunified country. He said the feats of victory of heroic Korea, which defeated the US-led imperialist allied forces to the surprise of the world, should be carried forward generation after generation, and stressed that if a war breaks out in the future, our army and people should bring the enemy to his knees and force him to sign not an armistice agreement but an instrument of surrender. That day, Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un looked round the soldiers' barracks, mess hall, gymnasium, and different other places of Panmunjom, and showed warm fatherly love to their service and life. He put forward important tasks which would serve as a guideline in strengthening the combat power of the unit. He said our people clearly know that defending socialism leads to victory, but discarding it to death, and are valorously foiling all challenges and moves of the imperialists and other reactionaries, and dynamically speeding up the march of great upsurge for accomplishing the cause of building a prosperous nation. He showed the deepest trust to the forefront soldiers, saying as they firmly defend the gate to the country, our people sleep in peace, and the Supreme Commander is also confident, and he firmly believes those defending Panmunjom. Respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un said they should be model of the whole army, either in the political and ideological aspects or in the military technique, and gave a pair of binoculars, an automatic rifle, and a machine gun to the unit as souvenirs, and faced the camera together with them.
조선인민군 최고사령관 김종은 동지께서 진행하신 판문점에 대한 전선 시찰은 만단의 결전진의 태세를 갖추고 전투진지들을 차지한 천만 장병들에게 필승의 신심과 용기를 안겨주게 될 것입니다.